Hey y'all, it's your girl Paris. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Today I want to talk to you guys about starting a clothing brand. Especially this year, it's 2024. So starting a clothing brand in 2024. I know it's halfway through the year, but you still got more than enough time. You can start a clothing brand at any time. So you definitely still start one in this year. I want to say I started my own a little less than a year ago, and I was watching these same type of videos and they helped me, and I picked up tips from different ones, and it helped me to really just get started. So I want to get right into it. The main thing to start off with, I'll say the very first thing is your purpose or your reasoning behind starting it, or just any business in general, but clothing brand. It's like, is there a message you want to convey? Is there certain type of clothes that you want to wear, but you don't see other people making them? Do you just want just money? Like, whatever it is, or you really just want to have a business and clothing's what you came across, whatever it is, you want to kind of have your purpose and your reasoning behind it. That's what's going to keep you going whenever it gets hard. Yes, to start off, your purpose slash your reasoning is important to know why. Like, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? You want to have a clear mindset on that. Like I said, that's going to be your driving factor when motivation dies and you're just relying on straight discipline. And then, okay, so now who's my target audience? Who's the type of people, what's the type of clothes that I want to make, who's the type of demographic, the type of what age, where do they live, what type of hobbies, what do they do, you know what I'm saying, what type of car they drive, what type of media do they watch. You want to really build that identity of who you're trying to get to buy your clothes, who what type of lifestyle do your clothes fit. You know what I'm saying? You want to have that vision. Obviously you're not going to have all pieces and everything thought of right now, but you want to have that in mind. And then tying into who your audience is, next is your brand logo and your brand name. Got to come up with a good name. Honestly, a good brand name is important, but it's also not something to stress about too much. Like, kind of just whatever flows to you. Maybe definitely get some ideas, definitely ask other people. Don't just go with the first thing that comes to your head unless it's really just it just snaps and it just clicks. But I would say spend a little bit of time on it, but don't stress it too much. It's important, but also it's your identity, and people will just start to know your brand and they'll just call it by its name and they won't really think twice unless it's just terrible. It's not something to stress over too much. Spend a little bit of time, get some opinions on it, think it over a few days, but it's not nothing too crazy to stress over. But yeah, you want to have a good brand name. And then your logo. How do you want your brand to look? Or is it a play off of, the initials in your name, or is it just, I don't know, just make it something unique. Don't make it something too busy to where, like, from a distance it could look good either from a distance or in black and white. That's really usually the general thumb of rules. Like, you want to make sure it's recognizable from a distance and in different sizes. So say it's like super small or super big, you want it to look good either in any proportion. And then you want to make sure that it looks good in black and white. So not too much. It doesn't have to be color heavy. Like, you want to make sure it'll look good in black. So something simple, but it's you and it's unique and it's sizable. But you can always get like a design or anything for like that if you're not an artist yourself or super creative. So now that you have, your reason behind having the brand, you have your target audience, and now you have a brand logo and a name. Now it's time to get the brand going, get the pieces. So I would say start off with, I don't know, I started off with handwriting a few sketches, like hand drawing them myself. I'm not super artist, but a silhouette of a shirt, a hoodie, or whatever you want to make, and just kind of have some ideas. Like I said, if you can't really draw super yourself, you can always just get a designer and you kind of just communicate with them of, hey, this is the vision I have, this is what I want you to do, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, once you have like a few solid ones, and then you're gonna get them digital. Either use Canvas, Photopea, or Pixlr or Kittl. Those are things that I use. I'll have them up somewhere. Or Photoshop if you can afford Photoshop, or Illustrator if you like know how to do those things. I just don't know how to really use those, so I stick with the ones that I knew they were pretty easy. I look up simple like silhouettes on Google of whatever the piece I'm getting. Like, say I want a t-shirt, I just look up a t-shirt template and it'll be plain, and then you go. But yeah, you put that up on Kittl, Photopea, or Pixlr, or whatever you want to use, or Illustrator, Photoshop, whatever, and then you just put the design on there. And from there, now you have the designs. From there, now you want to get a manufacturer. Now I recommend Alibaba. Alibaba is an app. Whatever, you go on there, you can look up different pieces and stuff, and then you start texting these manufacturers. The key with Alibaba is you don't want to get scammed, but it does have protection. So I don't use directly like from my card. I use like PayPal, that way, and it's business, that way if you happen to get scammed or whatever, you'll get refunded. But yeah, I would say go on there, find manufacturers for however many years they've been in business. That's how many 100,000 pieces or orders or they should have. So if they've been in business for 2 years, it should have 200,000 orders. That's how you know they're legit. I've only really done Alibaba. You could get them off Instagram, but one thing I will say, do not use any manufacturers from Pakistan. They're all scams. Don't use any ones from Pakistan. But other than that, go for it. And it is kind of taking a risk. You don't want to really get scammed, but things are in place to where you'll get refunded. It's kind of just trial and error, and people don't really tell you their manufacturers, so you kind of have to find them on your own. And it's really up to you. It's like, what type of piece do you like? So, like, again, I recommend Alibaba. Go there. Now you have your manufacturer, and you're about to get your clothes made. So you want to send an order, get a few samples. They'll send you samples. You could talk to them a little bit, see, hey, like, is it this price is a little much? Could you bring it down a little bit? You can negotiate a little bit. You're a business person now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just learn. You just gotta learn to talk business and stuff like that. But yeah, don't be scared. It's just, hey, it's a business transaction. They're helping you out. You're helping them out. So, and you want to make sure your stuff is right. Hey, if you were like, hey, y'all have pieces like this, or and then you send them your design that you made or whatever, and you're like, oh, but could you change this up a little bit, and make sure make sure that you're getting your piece back. Be like, okay, I sent this, I want this and this. And then right before you make that payment, be like, hey, like, send me everything that I just told you. You know what I'm saying? Like, send me they should be able to make up like a little mock-up for you. Be like, hey, can you send me a mock-up so I know that you have what I want, the right measurements, the right design, everything's right before you make your payment. Or you can do it after. I mean, they're still, just because you pay doesn't mean they made it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, you want to make sure everything is perfect and in place. So now you got your samples on the way. Now you get your samples. Now this is what you want to do. You want to make your social media accounts. So your Instagram, your TikTok, building that website, because now you got your pieces. You can take pictures and stuff. You can get models. You can do photo shoots, all that stuff. So yeah, you want to get into the marketing side of it now. So the marketing side is probably the most important, literally the most important part of having any brand, is marketing it, getting people seeing it, getting opinions and reviews, even if it's bad at first. Just getting your brand out there. You start on Instagram and you start a TikTok, you post every single day. Post something every single day. You have your drop date coming or whatever. Just post every single day. Hey, we're dropping this day, we're dropping this piece and this piece. Get, like I said, have people model your stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? Have photo shoots, have video shoots. You want to post every single day. You want to be consistent on all your social media platforms to really grow organically. I mean, you could do a little bit of paid ads, but I feel like organically is the best way to go. A little bit of influencer marketing does good, but when you're just starting out, it's going to be a little bit harder unless you just know an influencer. But definitely organic marketing, posting every single day, being consistent, getting your brand out there, reposting on your personal page every single day. I mean, they follow you, your friends, and then you may have friends repost. Just be consistent on the social medias. That's so important. That's the most important part. And then just especially how you want your brand to be. Like I said, your target audience, so you want to promote your stuff out to that target demographic, the things that they will like, the type of posts and stuff that they will like. You want to try to do that. That's the most important part. But yeah, once you've marketed it, you have to build up until the drop day. You have your drop day, you build it up to then. That's when you want to make sure your Shopify website is nice. So Shopify has free themes and stuff like that, so you want to make sure it's nice, all those things, and you have your shop open. So now once you dropped, you drop, you know what I'm saying, have the drop open. And whenever you have orders come in, you want to make sure you have a label printer. Get you a thermal label printer. And from Shopify, you can print labels from whoever order. You can print labels from there on Shopify. You just buy them and you print them, and you just print them on your label printer. And then you want to have poly mailers. I don't know. I'll put up a picture of both, but of the label printer and the poly mailers. Yeah, you put them in the poly mailer. You have your label on there. You put it on there, straight like that. It's ready to ship. So you officially did it. You're officially locked in. You did it. You got your brand. Got your social media pages, got the brand, the logo, got some pieces in, you know what you're dropping, you had your drop date, you officially drop. Starting is definitely the hard part. I would say the time after is really what is when it really gets hard. And I'm talking about just yourself. So yeah, you have your brand, but now it's time to really work on yourself, because you're gonna go through ups and downs, you're gonna go through challenges. You're gonna go through times where it gets hard. It's hard to post every single day. It's not always easy to get people together to do photo shoots or have models, or you might not always have models. You might have to just do what you have. You might have to model. Your page might not be growing like that. It might be hard to get reach out there like that. Shipping times might just take so long. You're like, dang, like I really want this piece right now, or I'm trying to get people's orders out as fast as possible, but it's taking long. you're going to go through challenges that are going to test you just owning a business in general. You got to realize this business is a part of you now. This is something you created. And you have to be able to, whenever people ask you, oh, hey, like, oh, I see you started a brand. Like, what does the name mean? Or why'd you start a brand? You have to be able to clear, concisely look them in the face and be like, hey, my brand is called this. It represents this, this, and this. I advertise to this type of people, and I want this type of vibe whenever you wear my clothes. You're a salesman now. You're a business person now. You can only sell what you believe. You have to trust and believe and be confident in your brand and whatever you're trying to convey, whatever you're trying to portray with your brand. And you have to be able to confidently speak that and convey that to someone else if they ask you about it, or if they're looking at your page, or just whatever. You have to be able to build that story and have to know what it is. But like I said, if you're just doing it just for money or whatever, it's off a limb, yeah, just do something catchy, cool, and just be like, oh, it's just something cool. But like, if you're serious about this, you want this to be longevity, this is what you really want to do, you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to know what your brand means and what it stands for, and to be able to convey that to other people. I definitely had to work on that. People would ask me, and I would like stumble up, trip up, like it, can't be like that when you're trying to sell something to someone. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm probably not gonna buy that. You don't even believe in it. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. So you have to work on that, and then perseverance, getting up every single day, doing something, where it's either you're designing, you're talking to manufacturers, you're looking at different type of clothes, you're looking at different type of content, you're fixing the website, whatever. You have to get up every single day. This is a business now. You have to maintain it. You really have to put in the work for it. It's an extension of you. So you have to kind of be more comfortable being vulnerable, because the type of clothes and the type of vibe that you have, like, you're gonna realize it's the type of vibe and the type of clothes that you like. So it's gonna be an extension of you. So it's gonna be kind of vulnerable. Some pieces is like, some people are like, oh, you should make this type of, or you should drop this, or you should drop this. People are gonna have ideas, but best advice is don't take advice from people that don't have business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, I should make this, but you don't have a business. And it's not even nothing personal. It's just like, take business advice from people that have a business. If someone's like, oh, it'd be really cool if you drop this, or I would want to see this, but it's like, you don't really like it. It's like, only drop the things that you believe in. You got to realize your brand is you. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to drop, whatever you want to do, you do it. Now, obviously, you want to listen to feedback. If it sucks, you want to try to improve. I'm saying at the core of the type of the vibe you have, the pieces that you're dropping, the designs you have, that stuff, like that idea you have, it's you. And you get to, whatever says goes, it's your business. So I want you to make sure that you remember that. You don't get discouraged and be like, I should just follow the trends because it's going to be easier that way. I should just listen to what everybody else saying, even though I don't like it, but I'll sell more. I get more money. It's like, no, it's not worth it. I'm telling you, you drop what you want to drop. You make your brand you, because it is you. You're creative now. You're an artist now. So you're making art. So I want you to really just understand that it's you. But I would say personal growth is really super important on the back end. Everyone sees the front end of you having a brand, but no one really sees the background of you growing as a person. Like, you gotta make sure you're good mentally, physically, all that, like your health, because it can get stressful. Like I said, it can get hard. It's a lot of patience and a lot of just learning new things. And I don't want you to be afraid to fail. I want you to be able to persevere. You're gonna have failures and setbacks. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. It's just gonna take time. You have to be patient and to be able to persevere and just keep pushing through, and just know, hey, like, whatever the success looks like for you, just keep pushing for that. And I've grown so much just having a clothing brand, because there's so many things that go into it behind the scenes, and you have to be ready for all those things. But I think it's beautiful, and I think it's worth it. It really builds you as a person. It builds your character. You just see life a little bit different because now you own a business. You're now a producer instead of a consumer. It's a different type of mindset. I want to see you guys' brand. I hope you guys, start a brand. I hope I've answered some questions. If you're confused, if you have any questions, you ask me in the comments. I hope this was helpful. Hope you guys learned something. Again, I love you guys. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace out.